It took 14 months, but finally, a major scoop, perhaps the biggest scoop of last year, has been verified, corroborated, it's coming true. This, a story that WWE Pro, that's me, broke all the way back starting in June of 2022. The Marvel ship may be going into a course correction. The characters that we love may be coming back to the forefront. And all of these C-tier, D-tier, Z-tier heroes that once Victoria Alonso lauded and lofted into top place, they are sinking back into the shadows. And the two characters who are going to lead and guide this thing into Phase 6, well, they're fantastic. All right, folks, welcome back to another wonderful day here on the WWE Pro channel, where we are aiming to deliver you a video of excellence. That's right, folks, and if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Today, it's all about Marvel, and perhaps Kevin Feige has finally decided that he is going to jettison the strategy that Victoria Alonso had championed so well. We've talked about Victoria Alonso, the former executive at Marvel. We've talked about her strategy that she had, right? We've talked about how she believed that you could take these various characteristics and attributes from heroes, place them onto a new hero of a new demographic background, and in doing so, then you could, quote unquote, modernize Marvel, right? You could be part of the message. And so that was what they were thinking. They were bringing all of these C, D, and even lower tier, maybe Z tier characters into the forefront of Marvel. We're thinking about the Eternals, who likely now are stripped down to just cameo appearances in the future, if at all. Well, now it seems that when Iger said that they were going to start implementing new strategies in their studios, well, that seems to actually be materializing when it comes to Marvel. We've been talking about this, though, for a very long time. As I alluded to at the beginning of the video, this is something that I've been talking about since June of last year. And there was a significant scoop, and it's getting bigger. We're going to walk through this. I want to show you what I had to say back then, and then we're going to bring it to fruition, as well as I have an additional level that goes above and beyond what's being reported out there by the media. All right, this is from thatparkplace.com. WDW Pro leaks confirmed Marvel hiring big actors for Phase 5 and 6 from September 7th of last year. Now, remember, that's not when the original scoop came out, let's say. That came out in June, but we'll get there in just a moment. It says, back in July, one of our writers here at That Park Place, WDW Pro, was appearing on a live stream with Valiant Renegade and Kamran Pasha. During the live stream, Pro reported that he was hearing Marvel was currently in negotiations for new contracts with very large actors, as the studio is gearing up for a multiverse extravaganza. This was in spite of the conversation being mostly about Marvel's poor performance as of late. In other words, remember, I've been fairly optimistic that Disney would turn Marvel around because it's too big. They can't let it fail. And also, it drives immense merchandising. So there's way too much pressure to fix Marvel. Still, Pro has said that his sources are saying Marvel is being very aggressive in getting major names under their big tent. We'll watch this video in just a moment, by the way, folks. Now, that reporting exclusively from WDW Pro seems to be coming true. From the entertainment website Hypebeast, and reporting out of Nicholas Lee regarding insider Emmett Kennedy. It goes on to talk about some of the big names that they were hearing were being signed on. Now, it says right here, in addition to the listed names above, Pro is reporting that his sources say Marvel is also either negotiations or has completed negotiations to feature Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Andrew Garfield, Chris Evans, etc. Okay, so let's go to the original video now, where I began. This is the beginning point where I said, hey, my sources are starting to say. Folks, remember that sometimes, it takes a little while for your sources to say, okay, now you're clear to say everything. So let's take a listen here, and this is sort of the beginning. I think that they'll course correct.
That's really...
Back it up just going forward. So it could have good legs if it has decent word of mouth. But I will end it with this, because if people have been hanging in here this long, let me just say, I'll drop a little exclusive rumor here. I am hearing that major actors, major celebrities are being signed on to the MCU for future films. And I think that there are big announcements on the way in the next, let's say in the next few months. There are big announcements on the way. And so even though Thor We don't know what it's going to do. I think that ultimately Marvel will be okay because I think it's too big for Disney to let it wither. And I think that they'll course correct. Now, notice, folks, I had been talking
that's
about
really interesting that you say that, WWE
all the
Pro,
bad
and I
stuff
want
in
to
lower
thank you for
tier
sharing
heroes.
that insight. It feels true to me because just looking again at the chessboard that we're looking at, we talked earlier about how Tom Hanks is coming out and supporting Tim Allen and others. Hanks is the ultimate example of the Hollywood insider, but as an actor who's going with the flow, right? And most actors go with the flow. They start jumping on all kinds of ideologies when it's like that's where the flow is, right? And now that they're sensing the flow is in another direction, they're going to move with that. And the fact that you're saying that this is what you're hearing at a time when Bob Chapek has been renewed and after all this controversy, and we've had Dana Walden, who survived his execution of her best friend Peter Rice. Immediately she threw him under the bus. For now, but she will. But she's going to be fine because she put out there, this is my boss, and we're going to do what he's literally. Her memo was, we're here to implement his vision, not Disney's vision, his vision, right? So she's covering herself, and they all sense this guy. The system has sensed this guy's won in the same way that Scarlett Johansson figured out he won right after the results came in from Shang-Chi that weren't in her favor. And so actors have to be very good at reacting to the moment, and they live in the moment. Well, the moment has changed. So if actors are now joining the MCU at a time when everyone's attacking Bob Chapek, both on the left and the right, and that Disney is under attack, it means they vibe that the moment is in a new direction, and we're going to go with it.
Now, of course, folks, we know that in reality, Bob Chapek did not win. However, that does not mean that those actors were not being signed on to Marvel and the MCU. Now, let's take a look at this next article that comes also from that Park Place. We're following the timeline. We've got WWE Pro huge early leak confirmed, Hugh Jackman to join the MCU. And so this came from September 28th. So let's walk that through again. Remember that the first initiation of, hey, there are big announcements on the way, came in June of 2022. Then in early September, we had confirmation from other websites and other outlets out there that Marvel was indeed trying to sign some of those people. And so here's what we have out of this one. On September 7th, okay, going back to that earlier article, Pro reported that Hugh Jackman was either in negotiations or had completed a contract with Marvel Entertainment to join the MCU as Wolverine. That's a major claim, one that if he was wrong could easily blow up in his face. A little more flowery in this article than I'm used to. So it goes back to that claim. Then it says, yet several weeks later, what is so often the case has come to pass once again. Pro sources were absolutely correct, and Hugh Jackman is confirmed to be joining the MCU. And I think this is a great place, folks, to say to all of you that all the credit goes to the sources. We have fantastic sources for that Park Place. We have fantastic sources for this channel. They have been even helpful to some of our channels in orbit. And so we're very appreciative of everyone who provides us with information. We've got more stuff coming out this week. And so this is just a continuation from last year to this year of what's been going on. But of course, here is the announcement from Ryan Reynolds that after, let's see, that would have been from June to July. Okay, so 3 months, essentially, a 3-month exclusive lead on the scoop that Hugh Jackman was going to be signed. So here we go.
Hey, everyone. We're extremely sad to have missed D23, but
folks notice that when he says they missed D23, by the way, this was something that put a little sweat on our brow, because this, when it didn't happen, when the announcement didn't happen at D23, people were getting a little skeptical of this scoop, but things came to fruition later on, thankfully.
We've been working very hard on the next Deadpool film for a good long while now.
I've had to really search my soul on this one.
His first appearance in the MCU obviously needs to feel special. We need to stay true to the character, find new depth, new motivation, new meaning.
Every Deadpool needs to stand out and stand apart. It's been an incredible challenge that has forced me to reach down deep inside.
And I have nothing. Yeah, just completely empty up here and terrifying. But we did have one idea. Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
All right. So the fun part about that was that even after we had the scare passed away that we had missed this, after D23 happened and there was no announcement, then the new scare was that oh, well, he said play Wolverine one more time. Pro, your sources didn't get this one right. And, fair enough. We're not 100%. We're not infallible. But take a look at this. And I'm so pleased, I guess, that the source had this right from the very beginning, telling us that Hugh Jackman was in talks for a multi-movie deal, not for one. And they stuck with that, by the way, the entire time, all the way up until today. So 14 months of never budging one bit and saying, no, Pro, this is rock solid. It's multi-movie deal. This from CBR.com, but it's all over the place. This written by Maggie De La Paz. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine may have a big role in Avengers: Secret War. Following his upcoming return in Deadpool 3, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is reportedly going to have a bigger part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Don't forget, folks, we're about to also explain something that goes beyond from the same source, but we're going to go beyond what we have here. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will reportedly continue to have a huge presence in the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Deadpool 3. After surprising fans with his unexpected return as Logan/Wolverine, unless you were watching this channel, it seems like Jackman might have no plans to it seems like Jackman may have plans to return to superhero. Oh, I get it. Ha! Well played. It seems like Jackman might have no plans to return to superhero retirement following his long-awaited team-up with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. According to known industry scooper Daniel Richtman, Jackman may have already met with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige before the actor strike began in order to talk about his MCU future. Yes, and he would only do that if he had the contract in place. One of the things they've reportedly discussed was the Australian actor's big role in the upcoming Avengers: Secret War movie, which would establish, folks, that that's already in place, that he's already going to be there. They're just discussing what's going to happen. I'll explain that in just a moment. Deadpool 3 will mark the 8th time that Jackman has officially appeared as the fan-favorite X-Men character following his acclaimed performance in 2017's Logan. The latter was actually meant to be his final movie as Wolverine. Jackman's live-action Marvel debut in 2000's X-Men served as his first high-profile Hollywood project after having an early career in theater. The superhero role launched him into the bona fide movie star he's known today. He's bona fide. All right, and it goes on to talk about some of that same kind of stuff, or just background, which is fine. And so thank you, Maggie De La Paz, for a great article. But here's what I am hearing, folks. And this is sort of the, gosh, how long has it been since we've done really good Disney news? And maybe this won't turn out to be great news. We'll see, but it has the makings of it. What I'm hearing is that, and we've heard this for a little bit, is that Hugh Jackman is, of course, going to be there for Secret War. But that's not all. We've talked in the past, a year ago, that there were going to be other big actors brought in, not existing actors, part of this new MCU, right? But I'm here to tell you that I think the MCU is dead. I think we're going back to phases 1, 2, and 3 in terms of what they do, because they can't lose Marvel. They just can't. And so I don't know that they even like what they're doing, but I think we're going to like what they're doing. What are they doing? Folks, I'm hearing that now they have pivoted, and Secret Wars is going to be a Wolverine Spider-Man team-up. And that we may be dealing with more than one Spider-Man, perhaps 2 Spider-Men, maybe 3, but perhaps 2 Spider-Men teamed up with Wolverine, along with some other very big names. Now, those other big names, I don't have those yet where I feel confident to bring them out and say, absolutely, this person's in it. But I think that, well, it's very exciting to hear that Hugh Jackman, who I think almost everybody out there loves playing Wolverine. We love seeing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He embodies the character. A little too tall, embodies the character. The idea that you would have a movie team up of Wolverine and Spider-Man, and that they would be leading the whatever this new Avengers is, that's exciting. And I can also tell you that I'm hearing that stuff like the Eternals, Moon Knight, etc., that's all going to be, at the best, cameo appearances. That this is going to be Spidey and Wolverine in a team up for the ages. And it just seems like that Marvel knows that they can't continue the way they've been going. Perhaps Iger has stepped in and said, you got to change things up. But I actually think that Kevin Feige ahead of time made this decision on his own. That's sort of what we're getting, although we can't, say for sure. But folks, I just wanted to give you the rundown of how we got here. If I came out today and said, hey, I'm hearing that Wolverine and Spider-Man are going to be the main 2 characters in Secret Wars, people would say, that's fine, Pro, but, we'll see. I wanted to give some context to just the path that has led us to this point. We've stuck in it for 14 months with the idea that Hugh Jackman had been signed to a multi-movie deal, and nobody has reported that for 14 months until now. And so all credit goes to the source again, and to the sources, folks. And we want to say a special thank you too. So to all of you out there who have sent in emails and disclosed your experiences at Disney, or you've provided statistics and data, or and across not just Disney but other companies, we want to say a significant thank you. And if we haven't responded yet, please know that we've received a lot as of late. And so we're going through that. We're making our way through it. And thank you so much for reaching out. It means a lot. And I think together as a community now, even beyond just the sources that I've had in the past, but perhaps more so even as a community of people sharing their thoughts and ideas, we can continue to explain entertainment and keep people ahead of the culture curve, maybe even hold some of these corporations accountable to producing good content once more. Folks, if you thought this content was good, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell. All right, we've done the run-through. This is what I've heard. Now it's your chance. Drop a comment down below. Tell us what you think. Is this going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Do you like it? Do you think it's too late? We would love to hear your take on everything you've seen in the video. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
I just found out to get WWE Pro's information, where he gets his sources. I can't believe he uses Wilton.
What's
We got a job to do. It's easy to hack into WWE Pro's computer.
You're kidding me. That's awesome. You know any other stuff?
Yeah, just Jonas Campbell told me.
Sweet.
Said Pro underpaid him or something.
A few minutes later.
Oh, awesome. Whatever. All I gotta do is
Whoa.
hack into this thing. It's gonna be so easy.
Yeah, this isn't
All
a
right,
hack.
grab this picture over here.
Leave it to me.
Oh, no, Wilson.
Job done. What?
No, all we had to do was use the picture because he uses face unlock. Now we gotta go to thatpartplace.com and sub to him and his team on YouTube.
Oh, well, I already did that because I'm smart.